alone.
Leah, in case you haven't noticed, I'm in big trouble here. I'm about to go on trial for murder.
And I would really be surprised if you did it.
Aiden chose to stand by me. I didn't ask him to. Then again, that's what a loyal friend does. Not that you would understand.
Oh, I understand. I understand that Aiden feels obligated to see this case through, but then that's it. He is done with you.
You sure about that? Believe what you want.
Oh, I will. Especially when it comes from Aiden. Sorry, Kendall, but it looks like you've lost your best mate.
Sure about that? I mean, my trial hasn't even started yet, but here I am, alone in Aiden's motel room.
Well, it would probably be because Aiden was tired of dealing with you and left. Either that or you broke in.
Or maybe my head was just spinning from that glorious goodbye kiss we just had. Yeah, you can stay. You can leave. Hell, you can spontaneously combust for all I care, but just do it a few inches to the right. I can't see the TV. Thanks.
I'm Maria Chambers reporting for VH1 Satellite Radio on XM Channel 26 and WRCW TV from the Pine Valley Courthouse with a recent development in the Kendall Cambias murder trial.
What?
The judge has agreed to hear oral arguments as the defense fights to overturn a court-ordered DNA test on Mrs. Cambias's unborn child. For those of you who need a recap of this compelling...
Kendall, did you know about this? No, I did not. I have to go. Let's go.
Jack, is there something wrong with Bianca? Is there something you're not telling me?
No. I was just thinking what a happy day this almost was, huh?
You hesitated before you said that. Oh, Jack, please don't take that call.
I have to. Hi, Montgomery.
Jackson, it's Livia. Can you meet me at the courthouse right away? The judge has granted our motion on a hearing to stop Kendall's DNA test.
I'll be right there. Sweetheart, I'm needed in court.
But what about Bianca?
Well, we'll talk about her tonight and anything else you want, okay? I gotta go.
Hey! Welcome back. Did you have a great holiday with Danielle?
When were you gonna spring this on me, Livia? Was I supposed to just show up here in court for the first big case since making chief to find out that my sister is lead counsel for the defense?
Just step back, Derek. This is a great opportunity for me. This is a high-profile case with a lot of press. This is a great chance for me to jumpstart my practice.
It doesn't bother you that we're on different teams?
No. It was bound to happen.
Livia, Kendall Hart murdered Michael Cambias. Woman, you're gonna wish you never heard of this case.
Well, I hope you don't take it personally when I prove otherwise.
Derek, Livia,
Congratulations, Alan.
we haven't even gotten started yet.
Well, it was just such nice work. You're finding that misogynist, senile jurist to order my client to have amniocentesis. I'm just so sorry that you're never going to get to see it executed.
Oh, it's not the only thing we're going to see executed. Your client is going to fry.
Justin, sit down and shut up.
Hello, Alan.
Jackson.
Livia, thank you very much for the heads up.
Well, you're just in time to see the prosecution's case against Kendall crumble.
If your client's innocent, why file a motion to stop the DNA test?
Because an amniocentesis is a serious violation of my client's Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights. Oh, I've also ruled out trial by fire in case you wanted Kendall to stick her hand in the flame to see if she blisters.
She's guilty, Livia.
And you can't prove it. Your case is circumstantial at best. The case is never going to make it past a jury.
Excuse me. Would it heal you guys to pick up a phone? Since you're fighting for my future, I would like to be here nonetheless.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Hannah Lampert.
That's the same judge who presided over my arraignment.
Kendall, just be quiet,
Guys, she
please.
let Michael walk for raping Bianca.
That's who we drew.
Well, then I'm totally screwed.
Be seated.
I have read briefs from both sides, and I would like to make a ruling on this matter today. So if you are prepared to present oral arguments, I will hear them now. Mr. Singer.
Your Honor, our case is contingent upon two facts: the whereabouts of the defendant on the night of the murder and the time of the murder itself.
As are most cases, Counselor.
The defendant claims she not only married the deceased on the night in question, but as a result is pregnant with his child.
And what is the relevance of the DNA test?
We believe our timeline for the murder makes the alleged wedding of the defendant in Las Vegas on August 29th highly unlikely, and the resulting pregnancy by the deceased impossible.
Mm-hmm. And is there any evidence to back up this theory?
A sworn statement by the defendant, Your Honor, in which she states that her intimate relationship with the deceased had been over for months prior to his death, and that the only time she had sexual relations with the deceased thereafter was in Las Vegas on the night in question. Succinctly put, Your Honor, if that baby is not Michael Cambias's, it supports our time of death and rules out any credible alibi on the part of the defendant.
Ms. Fry.
I'll be brief, Your Honor. Amniocentesis is an invasive and potentially life-threatening procedure for both the mother and the child. The prosecution is well aware of this and has shown absolutely no regard for the well-being of either of them. Furthermore, if they're allowed to go forth with this procedure, it would be a gross violation of my client's Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights. Your Honor, if the prosecution's case is really contingent on the paternity of this child, perhaps the court needs to seriously reconsider the credibility of their so-called investigation.
Well, I have had to make a number of complex decisions from this bench over the years, but this one is a no-brainer. The previous court order for an amniocentesis is overruled. I will not allow anyone to put an innocent child at risk. Now, as far as the date for the voir dire goes...
Your Honor, the state would like to request a postponement of trial.
On what grounds, Mr. Singer?
We would like to postpone trial until after the defendant's baby is born, Your Honor, when paternity can be determined without putting the child at risk.
Your Honor, I object to a postponement. My client waived her rights to a preliminary hearing under the assumption that she would receive an immediate trial date.
I apologize if a postponement interferes with the defendant's social calendar.
Your Honor, you have already ruled that the issue of the baby's paternity is specious and without merit.
And I agreed that an amniocentesis violated your client's civil rights. I never said I found the issue of paternity itself specious.
Then I would ask Your Honor to reconsider.
That said, postponement until after the child is born to safely determine paternity isn't out of the question.
No, Your Honor, you don't have to wait.
Can we sit down?
No, I can prove that I'm having Michael Cambias's child right now.
Your Honor, I would like to apologize on behalf of my client.
No, excuse me, listen to me. Your Honor, if you'll allow me, I can solve the problem of paternity. I swear I can.
Very well.
These are the credentials for Dr. Helen Lawson. She was the head of OBGYN at Cleveland Clinic for almost 7 years. She's been awarded numerous medical and humanitarian awards.
Yes, I'm aware of her work, Mrs. Cambias, as well as her reputation, but I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Your Honor, Dr. Lawson is here, and she knows of a procedure to determine paternity without putting me or my child at risk.
Objection, this is highly irregular.
Your Honor, I would like to ask for a recess so that I can confer with my client.
Both of you sit down. If Dr. Lawson is here and can safely resolve the issue of paternity, I, for one, would like to hear what she has to say. Dr. Lawson, will you please step forward?
You better have a damn good explanation for this.
I know what I'm doing.
Oh, do you? Well, I guess we're about to find out, aren't we?
Go ahead, doctor.
There is a new non-invasive paternity test that can determine the presence of fetal cells in the mother's blood. Recent advances have allowed the extraction of these cells to determine the child's DNA.
Well, is there any margin of error?
As long as this is the mother's first pregnancy, as is the case with the defendant, the findings will be conclusive. At Mrs. Cambias's request, I have already drawn and sealed her blood. I would like to send the sample to be tested and have the results entered into evidence.
Your Honor, I object.
The procedure had a number of witnesses.
Oh, then the sample could never have been compromised.
What the hell have you done?
I'm saving my life.
Overruled. Who were these witnesses, Dr. Lawson?
Dr. David Hayward, Ryan Lavery, and the defendant's sister, Bianca Montgomery.
Objection.
Dr. Lawson, you're confident that this procedure will determine paternity without endangering the defendant or her child?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does either side have any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Singer?
Your Honor, while the prosecution has no doubt of Dr. Lawson's abilities, we would like to reserve the right for further research into the accuracy of this test. Additionally, we ask the court's permission to take another blood sample from the defendant and witness that procedure ourselves.
Honor, Dr. Lawson is a highly respected member of her field. To even question her integrity.
The prosecution has no problem with Dr. Lawson. Our concerns are about the 3 witnesses.
Your Honor, the only real question here is whether there are fetal cells containing Michael Cambias's DNA in that vial. If the prosecution would stick to facts instead of paranoia, they would realize that there is no possible way to manufacture evidence of this nature. Michael Cambias has been dead for months. Where else could we find his DNA if not from Mrs. Cambias?
I agree. I'll allow the blood to be tested and the results entered into evidence. The prosecution's request is denied. Now, are there any other motions for the court to consider?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to file a motion for you to recuse yourself from this case. Your dismissal of the rape charges against Michael Cambias is what set this chain of events into motion. I believe there could be prejudice on your part, which would favor the defense.
I disagree. You'll take the judge you drew, Mr. Singer, and that is me. Voir dire will be scheduled for January 20th at 9 a.m. Dr. Lawson, will you please turn over the vial containing the defendant's blood to the bailiff? Court adjourned.
All rise.
Well, it looks like things finally went our way.
You were lucky today, Kendall. If you pull one more surprise like that, I will walk off this case. Do you understand me?
Perfectly.